Hey everybody, how you doing? My name's Aaron Fisher, and I'm going to be one of the facilitators at the Global Heart Dance event. And what I'll be bringing to this event is the lesson that I learned throughout my experiences. And one of my greatest experiences was the experience of curiosity. See, curiosity was one of my really good friends. Curiosity took me everywhere. Took me into good places, took me into sad places, took me into places where I would even question myself, and took me into places where I would actually question a lot of other people. Curiosity was one of the key fundamental tools that I used in my life to help expand my growth. Where curiosity took me was from continent to continent, place to place. It took me all around the world. And what I started realizing was every place in the world has these languages. But yet, at the same time, why is it that if I speak English and you speak English and we speak together, we can't understand despite the words that we're using, we both understand? But what is it that is causing this distance? And when I thought about it, it was when we are children, we are taught words with their definitions. But nowhere in this scheme, in this hierarchy, in this growth, in whatever you want to call it, did we get to go back and reassess the words that we use to better understand who we were currently. All we got was more words, more definitions, more words, more definitions, without truly understanding the words that we use and the definition behind it. So what I mean here is sometimes I will say something and you will hear it, but you will not hear it how I say it. You will hear it through your experiences and through your definition. So then you will reply through your experiences and your definition, and hence we're sitting there with each other, maybe having the most magical conversation, or maybe the most frustrating one. But the interesting thing is we're listening through our own experiences. So what I want to do during this event is I want to facilitate a beautiful workshop, a beautiful time with others, and I want to go into communication of the heart, because this is where it matters the most. It doesn't matter how long your word is. It doesn't matter how you pronounce your word. It doesn't matter any of these things. What matters is when you speak, are you fully connected with the words that you say? When you speak, do you really, really understand the definition behind what you're saying? Because if you don't, that's okay. Because that means that we hit a starting point. And I'll give you an example. Something that really changed the way that I saw all this. One night, I had this really profound experience where I was lying in bed and it said to me, "Open your mouth." So I opened my mouth. It said, "Now speak." And I spoke. And as I spoke, I saw my words come to life. And I thought about this for a second. If we are creators, if we are creating beings, if we're able to create, now you can see it as create a story, create a job, create a family, or even create the life that surrounds us and the life that we live. And if a lot of this is due to how we express ourselves verbally, and the words that we use, and the stories that we create with our words, then a key fundamental aspect here is if we're not in the place that we want to be in our lives, if we're not cultivating the relationships that we want in our life, if we are not truly in line with where we want to be in our lives, then maybe it has to do with communication. But not just communications with others, but communication with ourselves. Which brings us back to communication from the heart. because this is where it goes. Each beat, so powerful. And each beat teaches us something. Sometimes I like to say that in between the question and the answer, the greatest story is born. Because in that silence, we find the loudest moments in our lives. And in that loud moment, we try to figure out with all these words what that void is. That is something that we will speak more about when we do the class. The one thing I want to leave you with is this. If you have the ability to create life with your words, I want you to take a moment and reflect throughout your whole day, and reflect on all the words that you use, and reflect on what kind of life that will bring. Reflect on what kind of life that brings you in, and reflect on, are the words that I am expressing cultivating and creating the world that I want to live in? If not, what can I change? And if so, what can I continue? A little bit more of this when we do the event, but wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in, for listening to this video, and I look forward to meeting all of you very, very soon.